Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to try and help you decide what kind of irons you should play. So most manufacturers nowadays will offer a few different types of models of irons and other clubs. Some might be more forgiving, some might launch the ball higher, some might try and help the launch the ball lower, some might have more offset, some might have less offset, etc, etc. The point is that depending on what kind of model you use, you could either help your game or you could actually hinder your game. So today we're going to look at what different types of club heads do to the golf ball when you hit them. Let's get started. Okay then guys, we're going to start with this. This is the Wilson Staff launch pad. It's basically a combination of a hybrid and an iron. So it's like a very, very deep club head, really sort of low down centre of gravity, and it's completely hollow. I'm using Pro V1 X for all the shots, so there's no difference in golf. Two good strikes to start. Let's go one more. Not the best to finish. I'm going to leave good and bad shots in because I want to see what these club heads and their designs really do for both. So next up we're going to go for the D7 Forged. I would do the D7 but unfortunately I haven't got it, and the D9 is coming out very soon, but again we haven't got that yet. So there would be kind of more of a traditional cavity back iron in here. I'm going for the next best, which is the D7 Forged, which is still slight cavity but with a bit of muscle. Good strike to start. I can already feel like this is coming off a bit stronger, a little bit lower, and it feels like a little bit more powerful. Again, like that was my best strike, but it's come off lower and it's come off with a bit more forward momentum. A little bit left. A good strike. Okay, so we're going to go up again. We're going to switch now to FG Tour V6. So it's be like the Wilson Staff CV that's coming out very soon. You can almost see straight away compared to the D7 Forge, which is a very much a strong muscle back cavity which is going to give you lots of ball speed and lots of low or slightly lower launch. This doesn't come off quite so quick. It doesn't feel like it comes off with the same kind of power. However, it does feel very consistent. I shanked it. Alright, let's go one more to replace the shank. Okay, and finally what we're going to do is hit the blade. So this is the Staff model blade. I had the set of these last year. I switched to the D7 Forged from them last year, and we'll probably see in a minute why I did that. So much thinner top line, very little offset. Oh, why did I ever change? I do still love these irons. They just feel nice, they look great, perform quite well for a blade. Why did I switch? Alright, one more and we'll have a look at the numbers. Not the best swing, but again it's helped me out quite a lot considering it's a blade. Right then guys, let's have a look, see what they all did. Okay, so whilst I was hitting those shots, I mentioned probably already that some of the feels off the face going from model to model changed for me. I could feel that, I could hear that. Visibly I felt I could see a little bit of difference in some of the models in terms of flight of the ball. And how the ball kind of reacted on the greens. But let's look at the numbers. Okay, so first impressions, there is one club that sticks out for the reason of distance, and you can see that that's the D7 Forged iron. No surprises really that that's why I'm currently using them, because of the added distance they obviously give me over the blades that you can see there, as well as other models in the sort of brand of Wilson. So if we actually look into the individual figures there, ball speed, you can see the model blade and the launch pad are very similar, but the one that's obviously dropped off by a few miles per hour is the FG Tour V6. Well, like I mentioned in the sim there is a new model coming out called the CB, which we haven't got our hands on yet. I will do another test of those when we get them in to see if there's any difference compared to the V6. So if we go to launch angle, the V6 and the blade and launch pad are all very similar launch angles at around 21 degrees. Then if we look at the D7 Forge, it's clearly the lowest launch angle. Again, no surprises there where the loft of those clubs are very strong. If you look at one of my previous videos where I reviewed the D7 Forged irons, I mentioned how strong the lofts are relative to kind of like the clubs of 5 years ago. If you haven't already, check out that review video now. Click on the card in the corner. Even comparing clubs that are effectively in the same generation, there's a big difference in launch angle, and I think that's mostly down to the lofts. So we look at backspin. Backspin's very similar between the V6 and the blade. There's a slight drop off when you look at the launch pad. I think that's again designed very much to launch high but with minimum spin, and that's to sort of max out distance or to max out carry. If you launch the ball high, spin it low, it's going to go a little bit further through the air. How much that might take off stopping power at the other end depends how high you're probably launching it. So again, the D7 Forge stands out as considerably lower backspin. It's again most likely down to the loft. The lower loft on those clubs is going to produce less backspin. Looking at the actual figure there, it's not too low. I can play that, I'm launching it high enough and I'm spinning it enough even though it's a bit lower. You don't really want to be spinning a 7-iron under 5,000 RPM unless you're launching it at about 22 or 23 degrees. So side angle launch is a little bit one of those where I don't really look into it too much when it comes to club fitting. However, there is a case to be said in how much an offset club could do. Interestingly, the iron with the most offset, the launch pad, has actually launched furthest right. And you look on the ball flights there from above, it clearly is the furthest right in terms of finishing position as well. So it's a little bit odd that the club that's designed to be most forgiving, most offset, i.e. trying to get the ball launching high and straight, for me at least, isn't doing the job. I'll put some of that down to the fact I hit it first, and potentially I was trying to override that offset a little bit. I don't like to miss the ball left, so potentially I was like, had that back in my mind, maybe just trying to override it slightly. If we look at the carry number, considerably shorter with the V6, down at 146 yards carry, compared to the others which are around 150 yards, in fact both 152 yards carry. But then again, the standout is the D7 Forged iron, which if you mix the lower spin, slightly lower launch angle but much higher ball speed, it's going to give me that optimum kind of mix for distance. So looking at those numbers in a snapshot, you would be recommending the D7 Forge to me all day long. It spins enough, it launches high enough, it comes off the face quicker, and it gives me the best distance, all within a very playable kind of set of golf clubs. So I think this just shows how it's very important to go and get fitted, and when you do get fitted, not just to try one model of golf club, but to actually try a few different models, not just the same type of golf club that's designed to do the same thing. Try a variety of models, because if you look at that, the things I was expecting the launch pad to do didn't happen. It didn't launch much higher, which is the biggest thing I was expecting. Same with the blade, it wasn't kind of the least forgiving or the club that I felt like I got least out of. That would, if anything, was probably the V6. When you go and get fitted, it's more of a test and you're more trying to learn about the golf club you're hitting rather than necessarily kind of pinning all of your kind of focus on one golf club. Don't narrow your choices down too far too soon. So that's it guys, I hope you found it useful. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up down below. It really does help the channel, helps other people like yourself find the videos they're looking for. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below and hit the little bell icon next to it and you'll get notified for every new video I post. Thanks for watching guys, stay safe and I'll see you next time.